We're talking about infidelity in politics. Two recent cases involved homosexuality, and both lawmakers were supposedly straight. Now, it seems like a lot of these scandals involve homosexual activity from powerful men who are purportedly straight and some married, and a lot of them oppose gay rights. Mark Foley, Larry Craig, just to name a couple. Back with me is clinical psychologist Michelle Golland and Sarah Simons, who admits to many affairs with politicians. Joining us now, author Dina Matos. She was married to former New Jersey Governor Jim McCreevy during that scandal. And Matthew Breen, editor-in-chief of The Advocate. Matthew, I'm going to start with you. Why do you think many of these scandals involve men who lead heterosexual lifestyles but get caught in gay infidelity situations?
I think a lot of these politicians are both victims of and perpetuators of societal homophobia. I think there are, we set conditions in our society generally where it's not okay to be gay in a lot of communities. It's not okay to be gay in religious Orthodox communities. It's not okay to be gay in other conservative environments. So there's an overreaction oftentimes. A lot of politicians, people who are interested in power, I think seek becoming part of the big club. Like, I'm straight just like you. I can take part in elected politics just like you. It's an overreaction to oppression in a lot of cases, in my opinion.
Do I hear you expressing a little sympathy for these guys?
I'm sympathetic for people who have difficulty coming out of the closet. I think it's in many cases a blessing if you know when you're 16 or 18 that you're gay and you come out and you can lead your life authentically from that point on. I have enormous sympathy for people who get caught in a cycle of repression. But it's an instance where the effects of homophobia have an impact far beyond the person who is gay or lesbian. They involve a spouse who didn't know that their partner was gay. They involve kids whose parents may be divorced because of this. There are impacts of homophobia that go far beyond the person who is gay.
And Michelle, you said this is a reaction formation. You even gone a little further.
Absolutely. You know, in my estimation, when we look at the Republicans who are so anti-gay rights and homophobic and spreading that and making laws around that, and then they are caught in these scandals. This is what we call reaction formation, meaning I have these, what I believe as shameful impulses of being attracted to the same sex. And therefore, to quell that, I have to hate that part of me, and I have to hate anything associated with it.
It's very sad.
It's really sad
story. Sarah, I understand you had something to say on this subject as well?
Absolutely. Two things, actually, Dr. Drew. First of all, most homophobes are actually gay, so that explains a lot of the behavior that's going on with these politicians. Secondly, as an infidelity analyst, I hear from gay men every single week who tell me their distress of their affair with a married man who's married to a woman. That's why I've just set up an organization called Wife School, because it's time that wives lived in the truth. Where are these wives? You know, who are these women who are getting cheated on by their husbands, not only with another woman, with another man? Hello? It's gross.
Well it's sad.
It's sad, but Dr. Drew, I am so enraged because this is the problem with this is exactly what you said, that in this society and in our culture, these individuals, these men, dictate laws. They change people's lives. And we do stories all the time on gay teenagers killing themselves.
Exactly. They've taken their internal conflicts and they've externalized it. They've used it to oppress other people. And that's where the harm comes in.
Now, let me talk for a second about Ted Haggard. He's not a politician, but definitely a man in power who fell from grace several years ago amidst reports he was involved in male prostitution, allegations he initially denied. Watch this.
I've never said that I'm perfect, but I haven't had sex with a man in Denver, and I've been faithful to my wife.
It was a suspicious and odd statement, and Haggard later came clean and fessed up. Now, Dina, Ted Haggard's wife, Gail, was able to stay with her husband despite this scandal. Did you and your husband ever attempt to rebuild your marriage?
Absolutely not. There is no way that I could have stayed with him. I had no idea that he was gay, you know, despite what some people may say that you have to know, but I had no idea that he was gay or even bisexual. And the fact that he lived a double life, lied to me, perhaps to his first wife, and put on a facade for the world to see, because he wanted to be elected to higher office. There was just no way that I would be able to stay in that marriage. There was obviously no future with him, and I could not live with someone who was leading a double life, not being honest to himself or anyone else. I think we're at a point where we have accepted people who are gay or bisexual and allowed them to live their lives. There is no need for them to engage in this kind of destructive behavior, and it's a behavior that hurts their family
and the public. It hurts our system too. I agree. Now take a look at Indiana State Representative Phil Hinkle talking about the allegations against him.
Why'd you seek out this young man? That's just it. I don't know. I don't know what was going through. I really do not know what was going through my mind. I've tried. I don't know what was going through my mind. Did I have a self-destruct attitude here? What was I doing? And I don't know. I thought I was stronger than that. I'm not,
But this was not an encounter where you were intending to have a sexual encounter with the kid.
In all honesty, I got to say no. Because, and I know people are going to chuckle at that.
Now, some may sort of chuckle under their breath, others wondering, what is going on? He's waffling. He doesn't seem to know why he arranged this paid rendezvous. Of course, sex wasn't on his mind. Please. I have to stress that Hinkle insists he's not gay and wasn't there for sex. Now, Michelle, is that denial? And there's this whole, and it gets confusing because there's this whole category of not gay men who have sex with men that the CDC has created to help us track AIDS. Men, believe it or not, there's a category of men who have sex with men, not gay. Are you aware of that?
Absolutely.
Matt? Yeah.
MSM.
Right. And then that's hard to make sense of. They can hide under that one. Michelle, you have a comment. You're reacting.
Well, and I have to say, what she went through as a wife,
Dina.
Yeah. Feeling that level of betrayal,
yeah,
is horrible. And I can understand. I have seen it before where it's not always that we know. Yeah. Some people are, and you know this, are really, really good. Mm-hmm. And I think it is about narcissism. It's about all that. But I have to disagree. The reason that in this case, too, with her ex-husband, he couldn't be elected in his mind as an openly gay
But she's saying that's in his mind, and we should come to a day and age when men can be elected and say, hey, I'm gay and I want to be elected. But you're right, it is the shame that caused them to be such great
but we
liars.
don't live in that world.
I understand that. Matthew, last word to you. I've got less than a few seconds.
I wanted to clarify. I wasn't excusing anyone's closetedness. I think it's ideal for everyone to be out. That's the best thing we can do for ourselves as gay people and for future generations of gay people and for the people that our lives impact. It would be nice if our society weren't one in which people felt the pressure to be closeted. But that's where we are right now, and that's what we're fighting to change.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dina. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Matthew. And thank you, Michelle.